Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I have an absolutely mind-blowing story for you today. Something that genuinely made me question everything I thought I knew about predictions, about intuition, and about the sheer unpredictable chaos of life itself. Imagine this scenario. A massive global sporting event. The kind that captivates billions. Where experts pore over data. Statisticians run complex algorithms. And seasoned analysts offer their carefully considered opinions. Yet amidst all this high-level analysis, a tiny voice, a child's voice, cuts through the noise with a simple, unwavering declaration. This child, with no understanding of odds or player form or tactical formations, made a prediction, a very specific prediction, about who would win the entire championship. And here's the kicker. They were absolutely, unequivocally right. I mean, when I first heard about this, I was absolutely floored. My jaw practically hit the floor. Because it challenges so many of our adult assumptions about how we understand the world and how we try to forecast its future. We spend so much time building intricate models, dissecting every variable, trying to reduce uncertainty into neat, predictable packages. But sometimes, just sometimes, the simplest, most unfiltered perspective cuts straight to the truth in a way that all our sophisticated tools simply cannot. Today, we're diving deep into this incredible story, exploring the circumstances, the skepticism, the eventual triumph, and what it all means for how we perceive knowledge, intuition, and the fascinating power of the innocent mind. Get ready to have your perceptions challenged, because this is a truly wild ride. Let's set the scene for this extraordinary event. It was the Intercontinental Football Federation Championship, a tournament that only happens every 4 years, bringing together the absolute best football teams from every corner of the globe. The stakes were incredibly high, with national pride on the line, careers being made or broken, and billions of dollars in sponsorships and broadcasting rights hanging in the balance. Everyone had an opinion. From the armchair pundits in their living rooms to the professional commentators in their studios. Each person convinced they knew the path to victory. The two teams that made it to the final were titans of the sport. On one side, we had the formidable Steel City Strikers, a team renowned for their defensive prowess and clinical counter-attacks, boasting a roster of seasoned veterans and a coach with a legendary track record. On the other side, there were the Sun Coast Mavericks, an electrifying offensive force known for their flair, their youthful exuberance, and a relentless attacking style that had captivated fans worldwide. The experts were almost perfectly split, some favoring the Strikers' experience and tactical discipline, while others believed the Mavericks' unstoppable momentum would carry them through. Bookmakers had the odds almost even, reflecting the intense competition and the difficulty in picking a clear winner. They had crunched every number imaginable, looked at head-to-head records, analyzed individual player statistics, and even considered factors like travel fatigue and recent injury reports. News outlets were running endless polls. Sports talk shows debated for hours, and social media was a frenzy of passionate arguments. Everyone trying to justify their pick with mountains of data and historical context. It was a classic showdown, a true clash of footballing philosophies, and the world held its breath in anticipation. Amidst all this high-stakes speculation, in a quiet living room thousands of miles away from the stadium, a small boy named Leo, who was just 6 years old at the time, was watching a highlight reel with his grandfather. Leo loved football, but in the way only a child can. Completely devoid of strategic analysis or historical baggage. He just enjoyed the bright colors, the excitement, and the sheer joy of the game. His grandfather, a lifelong football fanatic, was explaining the nuances of the upcoming final, talking about formations and star players, trying to instill his own passion into the little one. Then, completely out of the blue, Leo pointed to the screen where the Suncoast Mavericks logo flashed during a commercial break. And with the absolute conviction only a child possesses, he declared, "They're going to win. Grandpa. They're going to win the whole thing." His grandfather chuckled, patting Leo's head, assuming it was just a random pick based on the shinier uniform or a particularly exciting goal. From the highlights, he asked Leo why he thought that, expecting an answer about a cool player or a pretty color. But Leo simply shrugged and said, "I just know it, Grandpa. They feel like winners." This wasn't some elaborate ritual or a mystical vision. It was just a simple, innocent statement from a child who had no vested interest, no analytical framework, and absolutely no reason to pick one team over the other beyond a pure, unadulterated feeling. The adults around him, of course, dismissed it as cute, a charming little anecdote, but certainly not a serious prediction that should be considered alongside the detailed reports from professional pundits. They continued to debate their statistics and their gut feelings, completely unaware that the most accurate prediction had just been delivered by the smallest, least informed person in the room. Now, let's pause for a moment and think about how adults typically approach prediction, especially in complex, high-stakes scenarios like a global championship. We rely heavily on data, on historical patterns, and on expert analysis, don't we? We build sophisticated algorithms that can process vast amounts of information, looking for correlations, trends, and probabilities that might give us an edge. We consult with seasoned professionals who have spent decades studying the sport, understanding team dynamics, and recognizing the subtle shifts in momentum that can turn a game on its head. We dissect player performance metrics, looking at everything from pass completion rates to sprint distances, trying to quantify every aspect of the game. We analyze coaching strategies, looking at how different formations match up against each other, and how coaches adapt their tactics in real time. We even consider psychological factors, like team morale, pressure handling, and the impact of home advantage, all in an effort to reduce the inherent uncertainty of human competition. It's a highly rational, data-driven approach, designed to minimize risk and maximize the chances of making an accurate forecast. However, despite all this incredible effort and technological advancement, the truth is that even the most sophisticated prediction models often fall short, especially when dealing with events that involve complex human interaction and a high degree of randomness. Football, like many sports, is inherently unpredictable. A single slip, a moment of brilliance, a controversial referee decision, or even a sudden gust of wind can completely alter the outcome of a game. These are variables that are incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to quantify and integrate into a predictive model, no matter how advanced it is. Furthermore, adult predictors are often susceptible to a range of cognitive biases that can unconsciously skew their judgment, even when they believe they are being purely objective. There's confirmation bias, where we tend to seek out and interpret information in a way that confirms our existing beliefs, making us overlook contradictory evidence. There's the availability heuristic, where we overestimate the likelihood of events that are easily recalled or vivid in our minds, perhaps due to recent media coverage or a memorable past performance. These biases can subtly, yet powerfully, influence our predictions, leading us astray even with all the data at our fingertips. The irony here is that while adults are busy navigating this minefield of data and bias, a child like Leo operates from a completely different paradigm, one free from these complexities and preconceptions. He wasn't weighing the Strikers' defensive record against the Mavericks' attacking prowess. He wasn't considering the historical rivalry between the two nations. And he certainly wasn't influenced by the latest betting odds. His mind was a blank slate, unburdened by past failures or successes, simply processing the visual and emotional input in a way that bypassed all the intellectual clutter. His feeling wasn't a calculation. It was an immediate, unfiltered response. A pure intuition that hadn't been corrupted by years of trying to rationalize and analyze everything. It's what some might call a beginner's mind, a state of openness and lack of preconception that allows for fresh insights and a direct perception of reality. This is a concept often discussed in philosophy and mindfulness practices, suggesting that sometimes, the less we try to impose our existing frameworks on a situation, the clearer we can see its true nature. So, the stage was set. The world was watching. And the final match of the Intercontinental Football Federation Championship began. A spectacle of skill, athleticism, and raw emotion. From the very first whistle, the game was a roller coaster of tension and excitement, living up to all the hype that had preceded it. The Steel City Strikers, true to their reputation, started strong, pressing hard and creating several early chances. Their experienced midfield dictating the pace and making it difficult for the Sun Coast Mavericks to find their rhythm. The Mavericks, despite their youthful energy, seemed a little overwhelmed in the opening minutes, struggling to connect their passes and looking uncharacteristically nervous. There were moments when it seemed the Strikers would surely score, with shots narrowly missing the goal and incredible saves from the Mavericks goalkeeper keeping them in the game. During this period, I can only imagine the adults who had picked the Strikers feeling validated, their statistical analyses seemingly proving correct, while those who favored the Mavericks might have started to feel a pang of doubt. Then, just before half-time, completely against the run of play, the Mavericks launched a lightning-fast counter-attack. A moment of individual brilliance from their star forward who weaved through two defenders and unleashed an unstoppable shot into the top corner. The stadium erupted. And suddenly, the entire dynamic of the game shifted. The Mavericks, buoyed by the unexpected goal, found their confidence. And the Strikers, despite their experience, looked momentarily rattled. It was a pivotal moment, a testament to the unpredictable nature of football, where a single action can completely change the momentum. The second half was even more dramatic, with both teams pushing for victory, creating chances, and defending with everything they had. The Strikers equalized with a powerful header from a corner kick, bringing the score to 1-1 and sending their fans into a frenzy. And it felt like the game could go either way. Truly a nail-biter. Extra time loomed, and the tension was palpable, with players visibly exhausted but refusing to give up. Each tackle, each pass, each save carrying immense weight. It was a true test of endurance, skill, and mental fortitude, pushing both teams to their absolute limits. As the clock ticked down in extra time, with penalties looking increasingly likely, a moment of pure magic happened. A moment that would forever be etched in the annals of football history. The Sun Coast Mavericks, refusing to settle for a shootout, launched one final, desperate attack. A beautiful flowing move that started deep in their own half and culminated in a perfectly weighted through ball to their substitute striker. With only seconds left on the clock, he calmly slotted the ball past the onrushing goalkeeper, securing a dramatic 2-1 victory for the Mavericks. The final whistle blew, and the stadium erupted in a cacophony of cheers, gasps, and disbelief. The Sun Coast Mavericks, the team that many experts had considered the slight underdog, the team with the less experienced roster, had won the Intercontinental Football Federation Championship. The players collapsed onto the pitch, some in tears of joy, others in sheer exhaustion, celebrating a victory that had been hard-fought and utterly unexpected by so many. It was a triumph of spirit, of resilience, and of that unpredictable spark that makes sports so captivating. And then, in that quiet living room, Leo's grandfather, still reeling from the incredible finish, remembered Leo's simple prediction from days earlier. He looked at his grandson, who was now jumping up and down with unbridled joy, completely oblivious to the profound implications of his accurate forecast, just happy that his chosen team had won. The grandfather, a man who had spent decades analyzing games, suddenly felt